It's a new day at the Morning Star Boys Ranch. Are you ready? Helping kids, healing families, serving our community.
We know that it's a small group of kids that do the majority of the crimes, for example, in the community. We know that if you work with that group, you have the greatest impact on both reducing crimes now and in the future. We know that if those kids are in caring homes and they're staying in school, you've interrupted maybe generations of issues. So in terms of impact on the community, having a place for these boys to go, it just interrupts that process, that lifetime of juvenile hall. Because sometimes these are what we call the forgotten kids, because they've gone through the system, they've gone through counselors, they've gone through the local mental health agencies, they've blown out of school, and they've blown out of their homes, and they're often very tough kids. So sometimes this is the last line of defense. No kid is turned away from our program because of inability to pay. So if we get behind a child and a family, we get behind the child and family.
January 1957, the first boy arrived with a suitcase walking up a hill to say that he had heard about Morning Star Boys Ranch and needed some help. So that was our first boy coming into the program.
Father Joe would go to the home and pick a child up that was getting in trouble and needed a place to stay, or the courts, or often the judge would call, and they would come get the young man, and he would stay here and start learning how to do some chores and get to school and back and get their homework done and that sort of thing. Father Joe used to ask for a 2-year commitment. Things are changing. Today, our length of stay is down to 12 months. We know currently the research is that if you're staying longer than 12 months, you may not be gaining as much as you did the first 12 months. And that in those 12 months, we also work with the families. So we have the parents involved so that the parents can take the kiddo back home and resume their life, as opposed to waiting for the child to return after a lengthy stay and then start trying to figure out how to do the parenting work. We're working with the whole family. Now, we're not doing a residential program for girls, but we have opened up our program to work with the whole family. We've built an outpatient clinic as well, so that we can work with the families before the kids get here, because if we can keep the kid in the home, that's much cheaper for the state, much cheaper for the families, and less disruptive. And then if the child can't stay in the home, then we bring them into the ranch, and that length of stay is much shorter.
We are opening our services to outside groups and outside people. The horses are pretty cool healers because, for one thing, they don't lie. I think one of the biggest things that we really focus on in the horse program is self-esteem with these guys. You know, a lot of them come in with a lot of bravado and very little self-esteem. And when you're sitting on the back of a 1,200-pound horse and you're able to steer it and make it go where you want it to go and develop a relationship with it, I mean, that's a really powerful thing for these guys. I let the horses do their work. The kids that have been there for a while get to teach the new boys, the new skills. And they really step up to being leaders.
Well, when we get a child to leave, for us that's a success. Where they can go and be in a home, we consider that a success. If we can get a child settled, get the grades up, get them to cope a little bit better, and get some parents that are willing to work with the kiddo, we're fairly excited.